Welcome back to the LPL. We're going to be jumping straight into the action in just a few seconds of TOP versus JDG Game 1. It's going to be an exciting matchup, Clement, and the most exciting thing about it is going to be that mid lane matchup between Knight and Yagao.
This is the battle of the sophomores, two of our best rookies coming in from 2018. They were the poster childs for the e-commerce wars between Suning and JD Gaming, but now, of course, we have Knight moving over to the TOP squad. Let's take a look at the draft so far, and we have a lot of spicy things going on right off the bat. Corki and Sylas being selected right here. Sylas, of course, top lane for Zoom, and Corki, one of Knight's favorite champions. He really topped the damage charts back in 2018, but it's something that we haven't seen for such a long time. I'm gonna have to spend so much time looking at these picks right here.
Yeah, it's gonna be looks like the Galio support once again coming out. We've seen a lot of this coming out in the recent pick ban. You know, now that he's been nerfed in the mid lane, you like to see him a little bit more in the support role because that ultimate is still so game changing, so strong. Provides a lot for your team, a lot for team fighting, helps you with your engages. So that's going to be a key factor, I think, coming into this game.
Just looking down the compositions, we have massive engage potential for JD Gaming. They like the hectic type of game style. They like to be the ones starting the chaos and really mixing things up. We see the globals from Shen, and then the engage power of Sylas, Camille, and Lissandra. If you like going forward, this is the composition that you want to pick.
I feel like TOP has a lot of the same elements, at least with the Galio. They can still get in there along with the Olaf to charge in, but they have a lot of capacity to kite back. When you have something like the Sivir, you have the Corki, you have the Urgot. So this might just be a battle of they're just going to have one team fight that just moves.
I would say TOP definitely have a little bit more bruiser elements to them. Their front line's going to last a lot longer, and they will have the opportunity to join the fights with something like Corki, who has a semi-global himself, and also with Galio as well. So a very interesting composition. Like you said, it's going to be a fight where I feel like JD Gaming are going to start the fight first, but the question is, can TOP move the rest of their pieces in line soon enough to follow?
Well, Ezreal's, I think Ezreal's a really good AD carry for this composition. Oh, I don't even have time to talk. Damn, XX going really aggressive here onto Flawless. The entirety of TOP is here. Flawless has Flash, but it doesn't look like he's going to get out. Finally does.
Here comes Yagao.
There's the Flash engage from Yagao. This game is already bloody. Just a few seconds in, XX makes it out. And Lumal in trouble in the pit. He doesn't have the E just yet. That's 2 kills going down. This one to Loken, a disaster for JDG.
2 kills straight up to Loken, and this is going to be a litmus test. How much does JD Gaming actually miss their former AD carry? I think they're going to miss him quite a lot with that much gold going over to him 2 minutes into the game.
Yeah, definitely not a good look here for JDG because now they've lost tempo in the bottom lane. They lost tempo in the jungle matchup. That was a disaster, and it's only 3 minutes in.
Yeah, it definitely was the case right there. It was a little bit unfortunate for the Camille who used the hook shot just to get extra damage onto the scuttle. XX calls him out on it, and if you look at the Summoner situation, Lumal also did lose his flash there as well. A lot of golden gank opportunities for someone like the Olaf, and XX, he's just going to make the most out of it, just making the bot lane his home.
Flawless, however, trading on the top side, but he's going to get spotted out here by 369 before he can even take the big Krug.
And the top lane matchup is an interesting one as well. 369, his debut, we saw it in the Demacia Cup. You know what he did in his first game?
What was that?
He solo killed JD Gaming Zoom.
I don't know if he's going to do that this time, though.
He's probably not going to do it this time, but I'm just telling you, these players have some history with each other. Zoom definitely remembers getting taken down by the rookie.
I'm looking forward to seeing Zoom play this pick because we've seen him on, of course, Swain, which I feel like is slowly becoming his signature pick, you know, what everyone recognizes him for. And this is a very different playstyle to that. Yeah, you can still engage a little bit, you can still disrupt fights, but it's more about careful choice of the ultimates. You steer careful choice of how you use them. But he's got a pretty decent options coming out from the TOP squad.
I'm really reading Sylas as a bit of a counter pick into the Urgot. You have the sustain, a massive sustain with the W to kind of take you out of execution range on the Urgot, and then you can steal his ultimate to do the same things to him. And you can see these trades, we have seen Zoom get the better of it most of the time. Just watch that sustain go down.
That heal, just like you were talking about, but XX is coming in to remedy the situation. Predator's been popped, but flash out from Zoom, he almost gets out.
So gets tagged.
Undertow going in, the re-engage coming in, Flawless is there to help out. XX so low, they take him down.
And 369, can he actually get away from this?
369, just a little bit of health left. Flawless, do you have the E and do you have the confidence? You certainly don't have flash, so I don't know if I'd try it.
All right, 369, he does have to disdain. He's going in.
Flash for 369 as well.
They're trying to keep him there.
Teleport's coming in for Zoom. Looks like they just want to force him off for now. They're not going to go too aggro into it, but they did pick up the kill in the 2v2.
Absolutely on the knife's edge with this trade early on. I'm telling you, Zoom definitely remembers who 369 is. There's no love lost between these two.
Almost getting a solo kill of his own. And then the jungler's coming in to mess everything up for both top laners. You know, why can't they just respect the island? It's kind of fair, though, in this matchup.
This is a matchup that goes in on each other constantly. In terms of sustain damage, Urgot wants to do that, but he can't really win the sustain war against the Sylas. So you should expect a lot of very prolonged trades. Sylas does have more of the upper hand, and he gets to decide when he wants to attack 369.
And there's the ultimate already stolen. 369 just ding 6 now. Might be able to scrap here because Flawless is looking real aggressive into the top side jungle of TOP.
Ooh, but they really need to capitalize on it. This could be a free objective for XX.
They see it happening here for JDG, so they know this is on the table. They're starting to respond slowly but surely. No teleports available except Bavoy, but really no one to teleport into the pit is the AD carry.
So they do move Flawless from the top lane in time. Not going to find anything on Knight. For this matchup, the Corki is pretty weak earlier on. You do lose out on the wave clearing potential, and Yagao should be able to shove him in. But the reason that Knight likes to play Corki is that he's a very unique side lane playing mid laner. He does like to play the split push role. His best champion is the Echo. We've seen him do a lot of that. And he does pretty much the same thing on the Corki. Once he gets those later items, once he gets his Triforce, and I'm not even sure what Corki builds these days. We don't see that much of Corkis anymore. Does build for the crit a bit, and he can go and just make his own plays. So what we've seen for the Corki, and one of, I believe, Knight's best plays, is doing a 1v3 in one of the side lanes, and just with the amount of magic damage he had on those auto attacks, he actually won that out earlier on.
Zoom going in for the primary engage. He knows that Yagao is here to help him out, but 369 playing a little bit too safe for them to be able to capitalize on this.
Okay, that's quite ambitious. I want to point out with Bavoy's build is that he is going for a rather aggressive build, starting the Sheen first, knowing that he doesn't really have that much time to get stacking with the tier, just wants immediate power.
Keep the threat in the lane, just tossing out the ult, knowing it's going to expire soon. And now, Zoom's doing pretty well in this lane. He's keeping even, little bit up in CS, but I'd like to see a little bit more coming out from JDG, because right now they're at a net deficit, mostly because of this bottom lane.
And that really has to be expected in this matchup. If you're first picking the Ezreal, you really do know what's coming. The Sivir is the standard answer to this matchup. Really, we're waiting until the Ezreal can get the Iceborne Gauntlet to kind of negate the damage coming in from the Sivir. But as long as JD Gaming don't lose first break in the bot side, I feel like they can say they've done a good job in that matchup.
Teleport, they really want this dragon for JDG. Flawless forces Knight out of the pit. Knight also out of mana.
Wasn't going to be a kill there, but might have burned a cleanse.
Flawless just going to clear out the vision now. They've established control over the dragon for the time being. Knight will restore his mana with the blue buff. And now he's back to terrorizing Yagao mid.
Yagao and Knight. These two are quite legendary in the way they came up onto the scene. They actually played each other in the same internet cafe. They were in the same division during the TGA era, so very comfortable with each other. And we just had a quote from Yagao before they defeated Invictus Gaming. We were asking, the interviewer was asking about his relationship with Knight, and he actually said he felt like Knight did a lot of things better than he did himself, and he still frequently asked Knight for some advice and tips on how to play the mid lane. So a bit of a rivalry, but a lot of friendship in that relationship as well.
It's mostly just cute.
Yeah.
Like to see those kind of relationships. Yes, they're opponents. Yes, they're going to meet here today, and they're going to do their damnedest to beat each other out. But end of the day, still going to help each other. And now, TOP almost certainly going to be able to secure this Infernal as Flawless answers with attempt the Rift Scuttle.
Absolutely massive favorable trade in JD Gaming's favor, I would say, if they can actually take down the Herald. They already have 2 turret platings in towards of the top side. So JD Gaming definitely understood what they were trading for in that scenario.
Infernal Drake, pretty big though. Not as big as the Herald, you can get the lead from it. Get that early goal, now the Zoom's down to respond. It should be a quick one for them.
And Sylas is one of those champions that has insane engage ranges that you can fully combo him through a minion wave. So I feel like for Flawless, this is, even if he doesn't want to place it mid, he could do a very, very easy swap and just take the top lane down, make sure Sylas can start to roam, and it's going to be up to TOP, especially Knight, to kind of keep track of it with the package. We haven't seen Corki in a very, very long time. The package is something that I believe does respawn every 4 minutes, lasts for 1 minute, you get a warning sign, but it basically means that Corki can pop out of anywhere from 1,000 range and unload most of his damage onto you. So it's going to be a very interesting game where both sides have so many globals and the potential for cross-map plays are almost infinite.
Now Yugao just pushing in the mid. No one's really been able to make permanent purchase here in the mid lane. They're both just kind of shoving each other, poking each other out. But now that the blue buff is on Yugao, he'll have the advantage for the next few minutes. The game hasn't really broken open yet, but Flawless looking to change that with the Rift Herald.
I like what he's doing right here. Just make sure the Sylas is free as soon as possible. Don't save the Herald for the mid lane. It's a very close headbutt, I would say.
Oh, there's the Ignite going down. Flawless in a lot of trouble. Hextech ultimatum not going to be enough to save him. Fear Beyond Death takes him out. Shelly goes down as well.
Okay, that was a little too easy. I didn't really expect the amount of damage being popped off by 369 and XX right there, but Flawless definitely melted.
Yeah, he sort of did a disappearing act there. Didn't know he was that good at magic tricks, but now Zoom just continuing to push into the top lane. We're, of course, apparently going to see the sort of off-tank build for Sylas there. He's looking towards that Iceborne Gauntlet.
Can win out on the matchup just with the the CDR being provided by the item, also the armor. That was a very big swing in terms of TOP's favor. They were about to lose top lane first brick gold, but now I think that 369 can hold on to the lane, and that's far more than a 300 gold swing. They also expended the Herald. They got a kill onto Flawless. It's a massive tempo shift.
JDG going to have to work to recover this one now, because before they lost the Infernal Drake, and now that they haven't gotten much off of that Rift Herald, as you said, it's going to be a problem for them. The spot lane, potential point of contention here as Knight has the special delivery available. Flawless is here as well, but so is XX. This is about to turn into a massive team fight.
Yep, TOP back off. They've got enough gold from the tower. They're content with just that. Not willing to risk it further. I actually like their call right there. It was a situation where Lissandra coming in could have a very good pick of their targets. And also, JD Gaming were pretty safe from their backline because they were underneath their tower. So just playing it safe out there, I respect that play. I think it's a pretty smart one overall.
From that, turret plating has just fallen. The result is that TOP is still up in gold despite all the turret plating taking top by Zoom. But now that that has fallen, 369 starting to back off. JDG will take the first tower of the game, get themselves a little bit more gold in their pocket, and start to even things out.
This is really good map positioning from Flawless. He knows that the blue buff handoff is happening in the bot side, goes top lane, and easy free first brick gold. That was supposed to go to the bot side for TLP. Loken had a great start to the game. Remember that kill and assist earlier on 2 minutes into the game. But JD Gaming, smart play from Flawless. They're able to reverse the matchup and at least hold on to that big Herald buff that they used earlier.
Well, things are bad a little bit for JDG, but they're about to get a whole lot worse if they're not able to contest this next Dragon. Infernal up in just 5 seconds. And if TOP get this, that's 17% AP and AD already available to them at 15 minutes into the game.
And I want to see Sylas join this team fight. We've seen Sylas do good things in lane, but not really in the team fights yet. It's always so exciting to see which ultimate he can take away at this point. JD Gaming with the positioning onto the river are going to start out earlier. And 369, he's in a peculiar situation with no flash trying to join this team fight.
Does have the teleport. Predator's been popped. A lot of damage coming out from the Infernal Drake, but the engage comes in from Flawless. He goes golden to save himself from the ultimate. The follow-up, the counter hero's entrance comes in from Zoom. Gets tons of knocked-ups, but JDG takes so much damage on the backside that AoE from TOP takes them down. 2 members killed from JDG, soon to be 3. 369 gonna finish off Bavoy.
And TOP were there in time to respawn. JD Gaming thought they caught TOP with their pants down, went straight in on the jungler. Really not a recommended target in that situation. I would have gone for Knight or Loken personally, but they made the decision they did, and they paid quite heavily for it. The ultimate from Yagao also going on just to finish off XX. That was essentially 3 ultimates to take down the Ragnarok Olaf, while the rest of the team was wailing on their backline carries. 369, easy cleanup, and then he goes straight in for Bavoy. Make sure that Iceborne Gauntlet's not going to do anything for him. Just look at how much they expend just to get that one Olaf kill. Definitely not worth it in this situation. Knight completely untouched, and look at 369 on the bottom side of your screen. He's having a field day against Bavoy. Bavoy's hating his life right now. Why was I ever born? Why is Urgot a champion? That's not even fair.
And all those flashes expended onto TOP XX. The result was everyone was stuck between Knight's damage and Loken's damage while Ben was there to zone them off.
You know, JD Gaming, they do have a really good catch composition, but I felt like that was too risky of a play when you've been sitting around the Baron pit for the last 30 seconds. Everyone knows you're there. They're going to be prepared.
Dumal almost getting caught out, but Ben not going to be quite able to find it. Scuttlecrab going to go down as the ritualistic sacrifice here in the mid lane. Zoom scrapping again with 369. This one looks like they're both trying to go the distance with the 1v1.
Oh.
Zoom needs to wait to get the W. He gets the stun, has the ultimate from Shen. Fear Beyond Death goes down. Who's going to fall first? It will be 369.
And it did look like Zoom missed the first part of his E dash right there, so unable to get the stun that he really wanted to onto 369. But then the heal comes in, and everyone forgets about the Shen. Nobody in the LPL remembers the Shen. It's not been picked for the last month. It's like, does this champion even exist?
Of course not. His ultimate doesn't do damage.
Yeah, it's like, why would we pick something like the Shen? You know, but old tricks, you know, every once in a while you can pull them out to great effect.
Shen showing his worth in just 1 second there with that ultimate, but things are still looking a little bit grim for JDG. They're down 3 kills, 2 Infernal Drakes, and Loken is starting to scale up. He's already got 2 items completed, and Knight's working on his second as well.
The worst scenario for a team composition like JD Gaming is to lose map control. If you don't have map control, you don't have the space to really utilize your globals. The speed which you can converse onto a single position doesn't matter if you're stuck underneath your tower. So JD Gaming, I like what they're doing right now. What they're saying is that we need to make sure one lane is super far ahead. This lane is going to split push. They're going to split the TOP members apart, and that's going to give us chances to make picks later on in the game. So we see Flawless shadowing Zoom towards the bot side of the map. They say, you know, 1-0-2, 20 CS lead. We can make that lane a split pushing lane.
Looking for the splits. The 1-3-1's coming for days. But now JDG resetting, sending their bot lane mid. Trying to wave clear, but against Loken, it is pretty futile.
nothing much you can really do. Loken very accelerated in terms of his build. Full 5-man answer from TOP. I love this macro call. They know that JD Gaming is trying to split up the map, try to get space for their own composition, and they're saying, you know what, you can get some chip damage, but we're going to trade a tower back. So a massively favorable trade for TOP.
So easy for them too with Knight on the Corki. You know, the Trinity Force, one of the things that, I mean, it's easy to forget because he hasn't been around for so long.
Yeah.
But Corki, his strength for years and years is that as soon as you get that Trinity Force, no tower is safe.
And Corki, typically we do see him take fleet footwork for the laning phase. He's such a monster split pusher. It's very, very hard to catch up to a Corki. You're talking about double dashes, the package, the W, the Valkyrie, and then he has fleet footwork and the Triforce proc to kite away for you for days. He's also bringing the cleanse. This is the style that Knight likes to play. I think it's his best position as as basically a 4-1 composition for the teams that he likes to play for. And I really miss this type of a style because it creates a lot of highlight plays. If Knight gets far enough ahead in the side lane, a lot of times he's playing up against a 1v2, a 1v3, and even coming out ahead.
Knight already wave clearing with just one rotation of abilities. He is so hard to stop right now. And JDG don't even look like they're trying this. Yagao. I don't know about that one, bud. Ben gets the taunt onto him. The Justice Punch as well to follow up the Q. But the engage onto Loken. The hero's entrance saves him. Now the turn fight for Loken. JDG getting wiped by the 80 carry of TOP. And that's a near ace.
Oh my
God. The Baron's up.
That was so fast from Loken. A flash taunt coming in from Lumal, and Loken reads it.
And suddenly, this is just going to be the free Baron for TOP. At 21 minutes, they've taken the Baron.
That was insane. I need to see that replay again. How did he do that in time? All right, the start of the fight, kind of questionable for Miguel, but it's not the highlight play we're talking about. You can see Loken already there in position to really punish. Lumal goes in. So, oh, actually, he was hit by his stun. One stun at the very least. So he does get hit by the Camille stun in the end, but at least he does get the taunt out away from the Shen.
4-0 and 4 on that Sivir as well as Knight. 1-0 and 5. Both of them have the rapid fire cannons, BF sword, and their first items in their inventory, plus a Baron buff. I mean, that seems to be the most important part.
Yeah, it's just you know, a hello message from Loken to his former support. How you doing at JD Gaming?
Hey, remember me?
Tough times, tough times. You know, the tendencies of JD Gaming are very much to pile in, to dogpile onto a situation. A lot of times, I don't feel like they really consider where the enemy position is on the map. They just think that, hey, if I do this action fast enough, maybe they won't catch me. And it does often backfire.
Speaking of backfiring, Yagao in a lot of trouble. There's the cleanse.
This could be the 2v1. He dodges out on this taunt.
Oh no, 3 people coming top for Knight. Double redemption from his team. He might be able to stay out. Finally, the shutdown comes in from Bavoy, but Bavoy himself, oh my god, that damage!
Bye-bye.
TOP then.
Yeah. This is what I was talking about. JD Gaming, they have the composition to make the first move. The question would be, can TOP arrive on the scene? And the answer has been yes, yes, yes. They always are there. They know JD Gaming too well as a team.
I mean, Loken already has Eye Edge too. Like, look at that disgusting amount of damage, and think about the fact that he's not the only one on his team that's fed.
Zoom's like, hey guys, I got the game plan. Give me 15 more minutes. Give me 15 more minutes. I can split push against 369. Just wait for it.
At this point, I don't even know if JDG have 5. Seeing that replay again. It starts off strong. Then Yagao comes in. He brings in the whole hit squad.
And just the timing on Knight. He brings out the teleport, dodges out on Lumal's taunt, knows what he's about to do. Drags Bavoy down here, and it's a 1-for-3 easy trade, all initiated by Knight. This is the type of play we're talking about. Knight's best play, even though I can't pull the replay right now, was when he was on Corki and he 1v3 the enemy team in a side lane. Corki's one of his pocket picks, and when it comes to a late game, when he gets that rapid fire cannon, he gets so much extra movement speed, so much chip potential on the towers, and then later on, you're going to see the Infinity Edge come out, and it's really lights out for a lot of teams.
History seems to be repeating itself today, and here the engage onto Yagao. He is stuck between a rock and a hard place. Goodbye. Now TOP free to hit on the bottom tower, but it looks like they're just going to rotate towards the mid. The open inhibitor turret, a juicy situation for them, and Knight does so much damage to the tower.
Yep, the Void just taking one hit from 369, says, I have had enough of this.
TOP free hitting onto the inhibitor now. JDG look like they want to engage, but in the meantime, Loken's pushing by himself in the bottom lane. They still haven't engaged onto that inhibitor. 369 finishes it off. The inhibitor tower bottom falls. Loken trying to take down the inhibitor itself now.
The TOP, they show no signs of stopping right now. Like, there's nothing JD Gaming can do. Once again, their composition does not have a lot of sustained damage. What they're really relying on is catches. And TOP, they've been so good in this game at just denying what JD Gaming wants to do. They've always understood that JD Gaming is going to be around the corner. They have these players forward, kind of goading JD Gaming in. They're like, hey, do you want this juicy kill in the lane? It's free. Please come forward. And then they spring the trap on the team. You know, it's so hard going up against former teammates. They just know the style you play. And JD Gaming, for me, has been a pretty one direction team. You kind of know what they're going to do. And if you can play around it, if you can outsmart them, a lot of times JD Gaming do run into these traps.
Now JD seems to be trapped in this game almost because TOP, they're ahead by 9k gold. They have 3 dragons to their name, 8 towers. The Baron's going to be on the field again in another minute, as is a Cloud Drake. They can take them both. It doesn't matter. They have such a lead. They just need to find a pick, push towards the top lane, and that's just the game right there if that happens.
Oh, they don't even need to find a pick. They're sitting on double Infinity Edge power spike at 27 minutes. This is the time to just close out the game. I don't think they're even going to wait for anything.
Well, 369 certainly isn't. He flashes in, not going to be able to find the engage, but he is so beefy. Not going to be threatened there. Ultimate, there's only so much you can do, Bavoy. It's a valiant effort. It doesn't do much to stop the wave coming in. Still has its ranged minions available. That should be the tower taken down, and now TOP getting engaged on by Flawless, but he is so squishy against the 80 carries of TOP. And now the engage in the front line. XX somehow makes it out, flashes away. TOP still haven't lost anyone. Corki is popping off. Knight gets the triple, and that's going to be the game 1 for TOP.
I love how 369 and XX played that fight. They said, you know what, Flawless and Zoom, you guys don't have enough damage. We're not going to care about our own backline. They just go straight in and mop the floor up with the bodies of JD Gaming members.
My question now is, like, if you're JD, how do you come back from that? Because to me, there wasn't one specific thing that went wrong for them. It was everything everywhere going wrong all at once.
Ooh, that's a tough question to really answer. I feel like they were just out-skirmished in every scenario, every single fight. TOP came out as the victors, and that's really the big problem here. TOP, they just read JD Gaming like a book. They understand their playbook way too well. The draft, from the draft, we said that how the fights were going to evolve was that JD Gaming was going to have the first punch, but it was up to TOP to respond in time. And every single time they were there. So not much they could do after that. If TOP could read the ruse, JD Gaming's comp just could not beat it.
Well, JD has a lot to look forward to in game number 2. They've got to fix themselves up a better composition, or TOP is going to take the series 2-0. We'll be back in just a minute with game number 2. Hop right in.